What's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. Thank God the weekend is upon us. Getting into this episode of GH, I am so glad though that Robert and Olivia had that conversation because I think it's a conversation that they needed to have. Um, Robert was a true gentleman with her. You know what I'm saying? Like he gave her the real. Like he didn't tell her what she wanted to hear. Robert told Olivia what she needed to hear, and I'm glad he did. Because I was really getting tired of her whining, talking about how alone she felt in her marriage for some time, and Ned doesn't support her, and she wants a man who's gonna stand side by side with her. He is standing side by side with you. He is. He's being a good stepfather by telling you that there's something possibly going on with your son. He is trying to be there for you. He does love you. It's like you're the one pushing him away because you're in denial about what's going on. And I'm glad Robert threw that in her face. Like he let her know. She's only interested in Robert because she's trying to use him as a distraction. She's running away from her issues with Ned. And I'm like, that's exactly what she's doing. She's in denial. She knows that there's a possibility Ned is correct, that something is wrong with her son, and she's afraid to face it. Because what if he's right? And I'm like, okay, if he's right, then take the boy to the doctor and let him get treated, let him get diagnosed so that way they can catch this early, so that way you know what you're dealing with and y'all know how to move forward from there. You know what I mean? It's like your husband is trying to support you. The problem is she wants Ned to be a yes man. That's what she wants. It's like you just want him to nod and agree with what you're saying, even if you're wrong. It's like that's not going down. So I'm glad Robert basically shut her down and was like, listen, you need to handle your shit. You know, her and Ned do. They need to talk. You know, she's so quick to run and go for divorce and stuff. I'm like, that's not really going to solve your problem because you're making a knee jerk decision right about now. That's all Olivia's doing, making a crazy decision. And I'm glad, you know, that Ned handled it so well when he saw Robert and Olivia hugging. And he just let Olivia know. He was like, listen, I want to invite you to the exhibition tonight, you know, to the little gala, whatever that they're doing tonight at Ava's gallery. And he was like, because it's really for a charity that, you know, that they love and stuff like that, and you know that they should support, and he wants her to be there. And you could tell Olivia is still in love with Ned. She is, but she let her foolish pride get in the way of what she wants. You know, she could be happy with Ned if she just get out of her own damn way sometime. You could definitely be happy with him. Stop acting a fool. Like, definitely. She just needs to listen to him and actually have a conversation with him. Because I feel like her and Ned, a lot of times, they talk at each other and not always to each other. Like, you got to talk. And, you know, really hear what your spouse trying to say. Or what they are saying. You know, understand why they're saying it. Instead of just listening to argue. Because that's what some people do. They listen to a conversation just so they can have a reaction to it. Instead of listening to understand, they listen to react. And you can't do it like that. You gotta listen to understand. So that way when you respond, it's not in a combative, negative way to where it's gonna be an argument and you know y'all gonna say some shit that you can't take back. So they really need to handle that and fix it. Because Brooklyn basically gave Ned some advice like, oh, you know, he just needs to um you know, he needs to be better at letting Olivia handle things on her own and stuff, like in her own time, her own way. That's fine, but when you're in a marriage, it's all about communication. It's all about supporting each other, and that's pretty much what he's trying to do. I get where BLQ's coming from, but you gotta, you know, she's never been married, so and in the situation that she's in right now, I wouldn't be too keen to take her advice. I'm just saying, I really would not. I would rethink that one. Um, I definitely would. So anyway, moving on from that, Trina just need to whoop Esme ass one good time. I done had enough of this girl. Like, just beat her down. Like, who the hell does she think she is? Coming up in there and trying to ask Trina, oh, are you trying to steal my boyfriend? First of all, if your man could easily be stolen, then he was never really a man to begin with. Like, let's just be real about that. She can't steal something. You know what I mean? Like your boyfriend, if he tries to mess with Trina or whatever, obviously that's his choice. So she didn't steal nothing from you. He willingly left. You know what I mean? Like that's what it is. He willingly walked his ass out of your relationship. That's what it is. Like, don't sit here and confront Trina about something that's not true. Go talk to your man. Like she could clearly see that Spencer likes Trina. She saw that the other day when they were all at Kelly's. So why are you confronting Trina about this? Go confront your man. Don't deal with her. Deal with him. Ask him straight up what's going on and how he feel and what's going on between him and Trina. Ask him that question. Don't ask her. Because Trina ain't got no answers for you. All she could tell you is simply put, she's not trying to steal your dude. Because it's not true. And then she gonna sit there and basically try to tell Trina that she needs to limit her discussions with Spencer. I am so glad Trina be standing up to this girl. Like, first of all, who are you to tell her who she can and can't talk to? Like, who are you? And you gonna tell her to limit her conversations with your man? You need to tell your man to limit his conversations with her. He's the one who be seeking her out half the time. Most of the time, I will say. He's the one that stops and talks to her. So you, again, it goes back to what I just said. Go talk to your man. Why are you talking to her? She's not the issue. You know what I mean? Like, Spencer is the one you need to go have this conversation with. Like, come on now, you barking up the wrong tree. And Trina basically refused. She was like, no, I'm not going to stop talking to nobody. If I feel the need or if I want to talk to whoever I want to talk to, I'm going to do it. And you could tell, like, Esme was really trying hard to suppress her rage because that chick was mad. She really tried hard to, just keep it in, not lose her cool, but she mad. She is, and she's psychotic. Like, Trina really need to watch her back with this girl because she's out for blood at this point. She is, because she really thought she was going to come in that gallery and try to stand up to Trina like, oh, stay away from him, do as I tell you, and it ain't going down like that because Trina's her own person. She's a strong-willed person. She going to do whatever the hell she want to do whether you like it or not. And if she sees Spencer and she feels the need to speak to him, she's going to speak to him. Get over it. You ain't nobody wife. Who the hell are you? To tell somebody who to speak to. You better get on somewhere. So anyway, moving on from that. I always enjoy the Sonny and Spencer scenes. I always do, because Sonny just be hitting him with some facts. Like, he really do be trying to, give him some real good manly advice, as how to, be a man. And, as much as Spencer doesn't like working or he's not used to it, Sonny's proud of him, for being a working man. And I kind of am too. I'm like, good. You're out here making it on your own. You're doing your own thing. You're not trying to rely on the cast and iron money. Good. It's teaching you work ethic. You're seeing what a lot of people in the real world has to do to make ends meet. They got to work. Even jobs that they hate, they got to do it. And I'm glad that he's doing it. But I'm glad that Sonny's not totally letting him off the hook though, as far as what he did to Avery. Like, Sonny basically just letting him know that he's still got to work hard to get back in his good graces. At the end of the day, he's Sonny's nephew. Sonny's always going to love Spencer, but, he's still disappointed in him for his actions. So Spencer still got a little bit of work to do to, get Sonny back on his side fully and, go back to the relationship that they once had. Because it's a little rocky still, and I can't blame Sonny for that. You don't use a kid for your shenanigans. I don't know how I felt, though, when Sonny basically told Spencer, like, you gotta apologize to Ava. I'm like, I mean, what he did was wrong. He took things way too far, but I don't know how I feel about that one. I mean, I love Ava, don't get me wrong, but Ava ain't no saint either now. She done some shit, so I don't know. I mean, he definitely should sincerely apologize to her for the Avery portion of it and using Kiki and stuff like that. Apologize for that. You know what I mean? But I cannot blame him, though, for being angry at her. I really can't. But he does owe her an apology where her daughters are concerned. That I feel he needs to do. I think Sonny just trying to, show him the ropes and teach him how to be a man. You know what I mean? Like, what kind of man you want to be. So I like their conversations, and I think eventually, Spencer will grow to appreciate those conversations that he has with Sonny, because they're real conversations. Like, he's just trying to teach you something. So anyway, moving on from that, Curtis is still uneasy about that whole Link situation and who could have sent them and stuff like that, because he feels like maybe the mob is trying to, get a foot in the door at the Savoy and stuff like that. But Portia brought up a good point too. She was like, if Curtis goes to Sonny for protection on the club and stuff, you're still gonna have that mob reputation on your club. I get where she was coming from with that, because that is true. That is true. Um, and I think for right now, Curtis should just kind of leave Sonny out of it for right now and try to figure this whole thing out on his own for the time being, if he can. But if it gets to be too much, then I say then he probably should go to Sonny for a little protection, to make sure that nobody messes with that business, because, they're under the Corinthos organization protection. I definitely agree with that, but I think for right now he should hold off and figure out who's behind all this foolishness, because he definitely felt like it was an odd coincidence that all the bands that could have performed and stuff started backing out and all that stuff. So he knew somebody had something to do with them changing their minds about performing. So of course, he called Link to the club or whatever, trying to get information out of him. Link sitting here trying to act like a little fool, little smart ass. I was shocked that Marshall decided to finally show his face. I said, it's about damn time, sir. Get in there and let this man know. Like, we need to know, who the hell are you? Are you his daddy? Like, who are you? So I'm glad he popped up, because we need some clarity on this situation. Like, and we need to get the ball rolling on who this man is to Curtis and why you asking so many questions. This is not a game of 21 questions. Like, we need to know, who are you, bro? I think that's his dad, though. I don't know. That could be his dad. Because judging from the previews for Monday's episode, I don't know. It seemed like Curtis, we going to get some answers, some revelations about who this man is to him. So maybe that is his dad. And depending on how old Curtis was when his father died, like, would he remember exactly how his dad looked back then? Because, I mean, it has been years since his dad's supposed death, so maybe he changed his appearance, maybe. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm interested. So anyway, moving on from that, I don't know what the hell going on with Maxie. I mean, listen, I understand she trying to keep her little lie going and stuff, but the way she was acting with Chase was dead ass wrong. That man is like a dog with a bone. Chase is not going to let this go. Like, he's that type of cop. He's a good cop, When something doesn't sound right to him and something does not add up with people's story, he's going to find out why. Like, why is this not adding up? Why is your statement not matching the actions of what happened that night? The scene of the crime. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's that kind of cop, and I appreciate that. I like it. He's thorough. Like, he's a thorough cop. I didn't like how Maxie basically tried to shut his questioning down and try to threaten him with Mac. Because he started asking her some very good questions that Maxie did not like. Not only did she not like them, because she just couldn't truthfully answer them. So Maxie started accusing him of being biased and stuff like that, and threatening to go to Mac about it. And you could tell Chase was like, his jaw just dropped when she threatened to go to Mac about this. I'm like, really? You're going to threaten him for doing his job? He's trying to help you. So he thinks he's trying to help you. You know what I mean? Like, I said, Maxie, that's a whole new low. Like, why are you treating this man like that? I understand she's trying to protect her little lie and whatnot, but you're going a little too far now. You're doing a little too much. So anyway, moving on from that, Valentine also is like a dog with a bone at this point. Valentine was sitting up in that hospital bed just playing back everything that Austin told him about Brooklyn, about how not to trust her, and she was playing him, scamming him or whatever. He kept playing it over and over in his head, trying to figure out what it is she could be scamming him about. Like, what are you up to? Like, what lies are you telling? So, of course, Gladys popped in there, and Valentine started, grilling her, letting her ass know. He was like, madam, it wouldn't be in your best interest to play with me. Like, you either going to tell me what you know, or you're going to be on my bad side, and you don't want that. She basically was trying to get him to poach her from deception. She wanted to, I guess, be his administrative assistant or his personal assistant or whatever. I'm like, Gladys, right now is not the time to try to bargain. It's not a good time. Tell that man what you know. So, of course, she's not going to tell him the whole truth. She's just going to tell him basically what Austin told him. don't trust Brooklyn. Like, don't trust her. So now he got Gladys and Austin telling him that. So Chase pops up asking him all types of questions and stuff like that. About how well he know Austin and stuff like that. So Valentine was wondering about the night that BLQ supposedly gave birth, because he was like, she slipped away from Yuri to give birth, and it seemed a little sketch. So once Chase left, he calls, Yuri, and basically told Yuri, like, keep an eye out on her. I don't trust her. Look out for her. That chick is lying. See, the walls are starting to close in on BLQ and Maxie. The walls are definitely closing in right now. They have no more excuses, no more lies to tell. All they're going to have to do is keep up the lies they already told. And that's hard to do, because between Valentine, Gladys, and Chase, they're poking holes in those stories that they originally told. Holes are definitely being poked. Every time they poke, they find a new lie that ain't adding up from their original story. So I'm like, y'all might as well figure out something else to tell the truth, because y'all about to go down. So of course, BLQ bumps into Sonny and stuff like that. They talking about bringing the baby by the house and stuff. And Gladys come walking up. Sonny swiftly walked away when Gladys came up. I said, there you go, Sonny. Move away. Walk away. You don't need to be talking to that thing. Walk away. Because all she gonna do is give you a migraine. So Gladys and BLQ bickering back and forth and stuff like that. Just going back at it or whatnot. And Chase pops up. And Chase wants to know from her, like, what the hell happened the night that you gave birth to Bailey? Because Chase know everything ain't adding up to him. All the stories, and I'm pretty sure he went over the case file with a fine-tooth comb. He looked at all of their original stories. So he know everything everybody said in their original statements. So he's looking to see, that's why he keep wanting to talk to them, because he want to know if they're going to stick to that original statement. Because if he finds one little line out of place, he gonna know for a fact that they're lying. He already suspected that they're not being truthful with him. So all he needs is them to slip up. And that's exactly what they're gonna do. I don't know how I feel about this, because I kind of like Chase with BLQ. But we all know, as much as he likes her or wants to be friends with her or whatever he want to do with her, if he has to lock her up, he will lock her up. Like, he is not about to play with her. He will lock that ass up. BLQ better stop playing with that man. Like, tell him the truth, do something, because y'all plan is falling apart at this point. So anyway, that was pretty much the whole episode. Hit the comment section, let me know what you guys thought about it, and I will see you all Monday. Hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Hope you all have a great night. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And I will see you all later. Have a great day. Peace.